you could not just be an elite 122 pounder, but you could be a pound for pound top 10 guy. And what are you going to have to do to get to those goals of that?
I would have to keep working my butt off, just stay in the gym, stay consistent. Just get back to what I know, get back to the gym, take a few little break off, but come back harder and stronger and continue to learn and work on my craft. And I believe I can make all those things happen.
I know you talked about becoming undisputed in this weight class, but it's believed that Naoya Inoue is going to come up to 122 pounds. What would you think of a fight with him?
I'm willing to make all fights like that and big fights happen. If he wants to move up, that's what he decides to do. But I am a big 122 pounder.
And
keep that in mind.
And lastly, I know you had some fun, respectful back and forth with Leonard Ellerbe and Mayweather Promotions in the lead up to this fight. Anything you want to say to Leonard or Floyd after this fight?
I made it easy like I said I would. I took off. I made it easy like I said I would, and I beat him at his own game. They said it'll be a surprise. I didn't hear Floyd say much, but Leonard Ellerbe was the one talking. But he did his job. He did what a promoter's supposed to do, and I take my hat off to him.
Okay, Shawn, thank you very much. We're going to go to DeMichael Cole from Philadelphia Inquirer. DeMichael, you have to unmute and go ahead.
Stephen, we talked about it, leading up to this week, man. You said that, leading up to this fight that you've been, training with Derek and, you had found some new things. The way you engaged on the inside today, was that one of the things that you trained with Derek?
Yes, the catch and come back, those was a lot of things that I've learned at that gym and when I trained with them. And
then just coming off that, I know I heard your trainers in the corner telling you, towards the 8th and 9th round that, you use your stamina. You have more energy than this guy. Just how did you wear him down late? All the judges had you win in the late rounds.
I wore him down by just kept attacking his body, kept pushing him back. I knew they wanted me on my back against the rope a lot. And I kind of started off like that, but I had to change the whole narrative, change everything around, and start pushing him back and keep dropping them uppercuts from that angle that I was in. And that's how I got the job done.
Appreciate you, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, DeMichael, thank you. Let's go to Jeremy Herridges with fansided.com. Jeremy?
Hi, Stephen. Congratulations on a fantastic victory and becoming the new champion. Was there a moment within the fight where you felt maybe a sharp decline in Leo's performance, like you knew that you were breaking him down and that you were on cruise control?
From like the 5th round, that's when I knew like I was going to get him. I was going to take off from the 5th round. I never was like tired throughout those rounds of me engaging. I normally would be a little winded from engaging in any other fights if I would have started off like that. But this fight, I was prepared and I knew that that's what I came to do, and I knew it was going to have to get dirty. So from the 5th on out, I knew I was taking the fight away from him.
We talked a couple days before about the lessons that you learned from your multiple camps with Carl Frampton, not only how to deal with a pressure fighter, but how to pressure a fighter yourself. Did those lessons kind of become rote memory, and did you carry them out in this fight?
For sure, I've learned a lot of things, like such as keeping the head on my opponent's chest, and I did a lot of that this fight to the point where he couldn't, throw the punches that he wanted to throw because he couldn't see those shots.
Final question for me: according to show stats, you threw 1,183 punches in this fight. How tremendous is that for you, hearing that number, and how much of a testament is that to your physical conditioning, and did it even win you?
I didn't even know I was that many punches. This is probably the first fight I did that. I didn't even know, but damn. Yeah, I swear to God, I didn't know I threw that many punches. It didn't seem like I threw that many punches, but it feels good to know that I can do that and still not be winded. And I feel like I just dogged them out. I'm just more so happy, not that I got the WBO, but that I beat him and beat him at his own game. I told him that I was going to do that. I told everybody from here on out that I was going to engage and fight this fight, and I fought. So what do they have to say now? They always say that he runs, he's going to just jab. I dogged him out of their game. Now what's going to be the next thing they're going to say?
I don't know, but I think they're going to say that, well, you're the champion now. So congratulations, Steven.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think when you go back and watch this fight, Steven, you'll see it was all action from the opening bell, literally. Terrific fight and very exciting to watch. Let's go to Ben Baby with ESPN.com. Ben, unmute, and you can go ahead.
My face banged up.
Hey, Steven, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks.
Hey, you know, you kind of mentioned this on the call with Brian. You said that you kind of made an adjustment early. It looked like Leo was landing some good hooks at the beginning of the fight, and then you kind of went to the inside. Was that kind of to smother him from getting those hooks off and to find that success inside?
For sure. I noticed that he was landing a lot of good right hands as I was pulling back. And that's some of the things that my trainer told me not to do when we was in the dressing room. But I made the adjustments like I always do. And from that point on, I feel like I smothered his shots so he wouldn't be able to land those again. And I noticed every time I threw a jab out, he was coming back with a right hand or a shot of his own. He was landing a lot of good, clean shots in that first round and the early rounds on, but I, changed the whole game plan.
You know, for you, a lot of talk about this coming into the fight with you having to battle COVID. I know you took a couple months off for training. I mean, were you surprised at any point at how well you were able to go? Like you said, he was leaning forward. It looked like he was trying to catch his breath. And you were the one that had to deal with the pandemic or the virus a lot worse. I mean, were you surprised at any point with your conditioning?
I wasn't surprised because I knew what I came to do. I already knew this was going to happen. I knew what I came to do. I knew I came to make a statement and fight this guy. I didn't come to just box. I came to fight him. And that's what I did. I feel like they were surprised. They didn't know that I was going to come and engage in a fight like this. The way that he beat Tremaine is because Tremaine's a smaller guy and he wasn't used to nothing like that. I'm used to dealing with those things inside the gym, inside the ring. Everybody I fought tried to bully me or press me back and it didn't work. So this time I did what they tried to do to me and I got the job done.
You know, is there any guy specifically that, you've kind of talked about this a little bit, but there's anybody specifically you'd like to unify with or try to unify some of these belts at 122?
Oh yeah, I would like to Louis Neri, Brandon. I want to fight him at that same way. Fight him in his fight. They say all I do is run too. I want to fight him. MJ, I welcome him out of his little retirement thing. Whatever he's doing, a long layoff. I want champions. I want to be undisputed. I want champions, all champions.
I mean, how good does this feel? You've had to wait so long. Y'all have had this fight delayed twice because of COVID. I mean, how good does it feel to finally have the belt and finally kind of have this kind of performance after waiting months for this?
Oh, it feels good. It feels great. It's going to hit me later on. I know it is. Right now, I'm just fresh coming out, and it's like I'm still thinking about certain mistakes that I've made. No one wants to make mistakes in that ring. I made a lot of little dumb mistakes, and I just want to fix those things.
Awesome. Thanks, Steven.
All right, let's just take two more here. Thank you, Ben. Let's go to Corey Erdman. Corey, if you unmute, go ahead.
Stephen, when we talked last week, you mentioned that having gone through what you went through with COVID, that it changed your perspective, that you didn't take things for granted anymore. Did that have anything to do with the way you came out and fought in this fight, just not wanting to take anything for granted and coming out more aggressive than we've seen you in the past?
Yes, that is exactly why. And that's why I came out the way I came out. That's why I feel as though I wanted to take the fight and engage more and really fight. Because I feel like I lost it. You really, it's like you start to appreciate things when it's taken away from you. And that's what it happened when boxing was taken away from me during the whole pandemic, not just August 1st, but the whole pandemic. I didn't fight. And it was like the gyms was closed. I felt a little depressed. And that's when I realized that, damn, I really do love boxing. This is something that I really need in my life. So, yes, I did take it for granted. But now I'm getting it right.
By the way, to follow up on your punch stats, apparently your number of punches is the third most in the history of the division. What do you think about that?
Well, what's the number one? I got outpunched them. What's the number one?
That I don't know yet, but yeah, you got to go and catch them.
Find that out for me, please, and hit me up.
And lastly, everyone was very impressed with your work on the inside. But I think a lot of people don't understand kind of the complexities of fighting on the inside. Can you talk about some of the technical things that you were doing on the inside to get to him as frequently as you were?
I feel like me being on the inside, I forced my whole body my head and his chest, along with pushing my left liver shot and left inside shots. And I kept throwing the smaller inside punches to hit the center of his stomach while he was coming more so on the outside and trying to hook. I stayed right there and I got in the inside of his body.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, let's just go to our last one. David Melandra Jr. from Philadelphia. David, go ahead.
Hey, Stephen, first off, congratulations on the win. Can you just talk about the pace of this fight, the volume of punches you threw throughout the whole fight, and just how your condition was?
Oh, my condition was great. I don't want to say it, but I ran like every day for a month, 4 or 5 miles for a month straight. A month. My condition was outstanding. I didn't get tired. I was right there the whole time, but I didn't want to punch myself into being tired. And it's crazy that y'all said I threw over 1,000 punches, and I'm number 3 for the most punches in this weight division thrown. That's
correct.
Amazing. So I feel like I accomplished 2 things in one night so far, along with showing that I wasn't that much ring rust.
And second, can you talk about the work you did on the body tonight?
The body work was amazing. I'm surprised at myself that I stayed there the whole time. But like I said, once I started noticing that he wasn't prepared for me to fight him at his own game, that's when I knew I got to stay there. I got to stay in the inside. And if you can hear it during the trainer tracks, from like the 4th, I said I had to stay there. I said I got to stay there. I got to fight this fight like this. I couldn't continue to box. If I continued to box, my legs would have been a little bit more tired. So by me standing inside and working him the way he was trying to work me and kept landing those nice body shots is what got me this victory and was slow his pace down.
And finally, what does it mean to bring the championship home to Philadelphia?
Philly, we back. That's all I got to say. Well, I made it. I put my name in them books, man. I made history.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I noticed your Philadelphia Flyers colors you're wearing tonight. And very good point you made. Your trainer your trainer at one point did ask you to use the jab and step back and box from the outside, and you basically shook that off and stayed on the inside from that point forward.
The U.S. is then
my bad.
Going after people.
Sorry, but I had to stay there.
Yes. All right. Let's just take one more here. We have R.L. Woodson. Ron, go ahead.
This is Wood from Bite Down Boxing. Thanks for getting me in, Chris. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Hey, congratulations, champ. I thought it was odd that you mentioned you were going with the same game plan, that you actually shared that ahead of the fight. What did you see against Tremaine Williams to allow you to go with that and to share that going into this one?
I seen that when he was fighting Leo, he wasn't punching while Leo was throwing that body work. He wasn't punching off of it. And I said, all somebody got to do is punch every time once he let his little body shots off, if they give them back and keep that same momentum, then they could beat him. And that's what I did.
Got you. You go for back-to-back 100-plus punch rounds in the 5th and the 6th. I think that was like double your average, according to what they were saying on the broadcast. When you do that, you hit him with the volume, and then also during those rounds, you're pushing him back to the ropes where that might have been his game plan. At that point, do you start feeling like he doesn't have anything else to go to get the win?
That's all he had. That's all they was banking on, was keeping me on the ropes. That's the only game plan they had. They didn't show that they had anything else. I showed that I was going to box him. I showed that my jab was going to be a problem. I showed that I could bang and push him back and fight him at his fight. They only showed one style, and that was trying to come forward. He couldn't fight going backwards. So I had to push the issue.
All right, and I know you said that this was, your shot at a second chance. You mentioned crying about seeing the first one slip away. You had to take advantage of this tonight. What gave you the confidence, to not worry about the gas tank and commit to the inside fighting and wrestling, which I would think, would have been an energy concern, would have sapped your energy with the infighting and then the hand wrestling and whatnot, when you could have just, step back and got that space and continue working the jab.
I knew I was in shape. I knew I was ready for this. I was more so excited to engage and fight. I was excited to be back. So that's what I wanted to do. Nothing to take away from my coach, even though he wanted me to box the early rounds. But when you take a huge layoff like that and then lose out on the opportunity, I felt like I just wanted to really fight. I was happy and excited to be back. So that's why I did what I did.
Got you. Last question. Just congratulations on the victory and congratulations on being an entrepreneur with your Crab Shack venture and whatnot. Any special going to be out there this week for customers at the restaurant?
I don't know. I got to check my phone. Shout out to Adrian Broner and them too. They definitely Errol Spence. They all hit me up before the fight. They all hit me up during, knowing like I was coming out here, Clarissa Shields. Everyone hit me up. So shout out to them.
Was that any? I didn't want to take away from your moment in mentioning Spence in his performances against Garcia or Porter, where he fought their fight. But any inspiration from him on implementing that tonight against Leo?
I can't say I was inspired by it, but I can say he definitely did a good job at doing what he do. Take my hat off to him. He's a good friend. And shout out to Danny Garcia as well. He's a good friend.
All right, congratulations, champ. And again, thanks, Chris, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, Wood. All right, take it easy now. And cool boy Steph, congratulations. Very happy to see you get the victory. And like I said, an excellent, terrific fight. Wish you safe travels and good luck the rest of the way. We will see you next time.